This call is now being recorded.
Okay, it started. Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Please, just so that we are sure, can you just do me a favor and type yes if you can hear me? Just so that I'm sure that the stuff is working. I mean, I'm sure it is, but again, we can't be doubly sure. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for. Um, so we are kicking off now. The focus of this event is so typically this event is usually exclusive to those who are coming to the convention. We did ask their permission on Thursday at our Q&A on Thursday to uh, to sort of open it up because I thought that it was quite important for everybody to sort of, get this content. And we also hope that, this is an opportunity for you to decide to join the convention. The convention is about 50 days away. It's not far anymore. Um, the convention is primarily suited for our community. We hope that people from outside would join, and usually the case is about 50% of people who join the convention are from sort of outside the community, 50% are from within the community. But we'd like to ensure that you guys are a part of it significantly, right? So this content, what we've tried to do for the convention prep this year is to bring some, not all, but some of the content that we share within our mastermind community to everybody here. And so as we start, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the convention. The convention is happening on the 18th and 19th of November. We are gearing up for it. Everything is being prepared for it. We're getting the speakers ready, confirming everybody. Everybody's pretty much confirmed. One of the speakers is a little shaky, but because of the change in his or her schedule, let me not give it away. But we'll sort that out between the next couple of days, hopefully. And then of course, all of the plans have been put together. We know it's a bit of a stretch for most people, and we understand and appreciate those who have made the commitment. And and that's one of the reasons we're doing all these sessions, to make it very, very well worthwhile for you. We hope that it is, and the likes, right? But one of the assumptions that we like to make in the Lim Simple community, and I hope it's true for you, one of the assumptions we like to make within our community is that every one of us in this community are all looking to build big businesses, right? So I want to just be sure, because all of the things we're trying to share, it really wouldn't make a lot of sense if you are not planning to build a big business. So I'd like to just confirm, if you're in this room and you do have an intention to build a big business, and so let me define what a big business to us is, as far as we are concerned within the community. A big business for us is a business that revenue-wise would gross a billionaire in revenue, at least a billionaire in revenue. Now, why don't we? Profit is important. Profit is critically important. In fact, in our last mastermind class, we talked about 8 things that you need to, measure, and one of them is to drive down cost, so that you can be more profitable. However, one of the reasons why we like to think in terms of revenue is revenue says a lot. It says a lot about your business, right? If you're doing a billionaire in sales, it means that you're running at a massive capacity, right? You can very rarely, depending on the industry, but very rarely can you run a billionaire business by yourself, you one person. Maybe it's possible in some industries, but in most industries it's not. Very rarely can you do a bit. I mean, by the time you're doing a billionaire, you become very well known to the tax authorities. So very rarely can you do a billionaire in sales and not have to pay taxes. Very rarely can you do a billionaire in sales and not necessarily. I mean, your business might not, be making a lot of money, but at least it'll get you comfortable. It'll get a couple of people who work in your business comfortable, and the like. So for us, a big business is somebody who wants to build a billionaire business, at least a billionaire business, not just because of profitability, but because of what it means. If you sell a product that is a millionaire, you need 1,000 people to buy from you. If you sell a product that's 10,000 naira, I think is it 100,000 or 10,000 people that you need? You need 100,000 people to buy from you. So the operations that is necessary to to serve 100,000 people is elaborate. So that's why we pick that number there. So if you're in this room and you intend to build a big business, I'd like you to write big business in the comment section rather. Big business, so that I know that I'm talking to people who have intentions to build big business, because most of what we are sharing today would not necessarily be useful to you. If you're not trying to build a big business, it's not necessary, to be honest. If you want a small business, there's nothing, you understand, there's no stress. Do you understand? There's no stress in your life, and it's very okay to not want to build a big business. Most of our parents who who raised us up, where the businesses that they set up were special purpose vehicles, and the special purpose was just to pay school fees, pay house rent, build a house for themselves and be okay. But that might be your intention, and that'd be perfectly fine also. Right? However, if your intention is to build a big business, because the second assumption that we make, so the first assumption that we make is that you intend to build a big business. The second assumption that we like to make is that your business is going to be, as the bigger your business gets, the better your employees get. So we always say that you should measure your success not by how well you are doing, but how well the people who work for you are doing, right? So how many people, and every one of us here who's been to the Strategy Factory before, know that one of the first things we talk about is how do you build a business that represents the dream of your staff? So for us, that's very, very, very important. So those two things are very critical for us. So I see a lot of us. So if you are going to subscribe to the philosophy that we promote inside this community, those two things are the critical things. The first of them is we want to build a big business, right? A big business for us is a business, again, depending on the industry. Whatever industry. Even in real estate that looks like it's big money business, there's still a lot of businesses that are not doing a billionaire yet. So a big business for us is you want to do a billionaire a year. And fortunately for us, we've been fortunate to have that, to have seen a number of people in different industries. We've seen, we have clients in pharmacy, in medical services, in tech, in real estate, of course, in agric, in food, in financial services, name the industry, we have them inside the community, 47 of them that have exceeded $1 billion a year, and quite a lot of them that are very, very close to, and maybe others that we do not know because, we're not working very closely with them. They're in the community and we haven't really figured out, we haven't gotten updates on what their finances is. So that's fine. So so the first assumption is you want to build a big business. The second assumption is that a big business for you means that your people in some not distant future would be able to access the quality of life that you have. If those two things are true in your mind, then let us begin, right? So the 4 pillars of your business is these 4 things. So we're going to talk about these 4 things sort of in detail, or at least talk about them quite a bit, as much as the time affords us to, right? We're going to talk about them in this order, marketing, sales, operations, and finance, right? So what are the 4 key pillars of your business, right? So these things are important because they can affect your company's growth. These 4 things that we talked about, right? Marketing is critical, sales, operations, and finance. If you're able to pay attention to these 4 things, you are very, 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 very likely to build a business that can achieve these 2 major objectives that we have talked about. The first of them is that the business must cross $1 billion a year in revenue. And then the second of them is that the business must, you must create a business that represents the dream of your staff. So what does that mean? It means that if somebody that works for you right now decides that they want to work, that they want to work exclusively for you, and they were going to do whatever it takes, improve themselves, grow themselves, figure out whatever it is that is necessary, can your business help them achieve all of their dreams? Can they achieve everything what are the things that people want? A decent lifestyle, put their kids in good school, live in a nice place, maybe the opportunity to travel 3 times a year, on vacation, just basic stuff, or whatever it is that they want to achieve, buy their own house, own their own car, all that kind of stuff. There are people who work for organizations and they get to do all these things, those are the dream jobs, the Shell, the Chevron, and more recently the UBAs, the GTs, the Hess Holdings, and the Glow, and all that. Some of us here have friends, colleagues, uncles, aunties who never started a business their entire life, but they're high value professionals working for some of these amazing companies. And you still borrow, that is the entrepreneur, you still borrow money from them from time to time to ensure that you are able to make ends meet, right? So let's look into that. So it determines your business growth. So the first of them is marketing, right? Why is marketing important? Because you have to be seen before you are known, liked, and trusted, right? You have to be seen. So I always say that for most of us, a lot of us, our business isn't doing so much, not because of the customers we did not convert, but because of the customers we never met, or the customers that never met us, right? So think about it this way. Let's assume that so far you have not done, or you have no real marketing going on, right? And so your entire reach is, let's say, 3,000 people, right? Your entire reach, all the people that get reached. Because, for some of us, you people refer you, and everybody who's used the product has referred you to somebody, so that's sort of closed out, right? So now you're trying to talk to these guys, maybe you've been able to convert 200 of these people. And so sometimes it's easy to say, oh, these people are not, but there is millions of people here, depending on your industry. Now, note I didn't say billions, because again, when it comes to industry, you have to be looking at total addressable market, right? Right? What's the total addressable market, right? Because so somebody that sells real estate and your land is like 10 million, 10 million naira and above, the person now say, oh, there are 200 million people in Nigeria. If you can just get 2% of them, that's not true, because the total market is different from the total addressable market. So let's say you have a product of 10 million, right? Your total addressable market, if you're looking within the borders of Nigeria alone, might not be more than 10,000 people, right? Because 90% of Nigerians don't have up to 500,000 in their account. And anybody who has less than 500,000 in their account, even if you give them a what they call a payment plan for 6 months, which some of us often do, cannot pull off 10 million naira in 12 months, right? So so your total addressable market, is not that much, right? So you want to ensure that your marketing is getting through to all the people that you need. So what is marketing? Marketing is all the efforts. And marketing is not just digital. Marketing is all the efforts we make to ensure our ideal, and this is very critical, ideal. So what does ideal means? Every business has an ideal customer base, right? I don't care what business you are. There is no business on the face of the earth that can help everybody, right? No business on the face of the earth can help everybody. There's no business. Doesn't matter what it is, right? If you're selling rice and you're selling it on the streets and you're selling it for 200 naira, good. There are a certain type of people that would, patronize your business, right? There's somebody else selling rice for 200,000 naira, and there's a certain type of people that will patronize their business, right? I can see OAS is cutting his hair. He's cutting his hair in a particular place, right? Now, that particular place, depending on where he lives, it will determine what the cost of that hair cut is, right? There are places in Lagos where you cut for 1,000 naira or less. There are places in Lagos where you cut for 5,000 naira. And there are places in Lagos where you cut for, significantly higher than that, right? So even a simple act of, opening a barbing salon, you can't reach everybody. So you have to understand what an ideal. So if I want to open a barbing salon, as this young man that he's cutting his hair with is doing, and then I have to determine how much do I want to charge for each haircut, right? If I want to charge 20,000 naira for each haircut, there are some places I would not open my barbing salon. I would go to some parts of town, and I would be able to charge very easily. Be able to charge there. So the challenge is you get to that side of town, the shop is expensive. There's a lot of other things that you have to do. So, but marketing is all the effort we make to get our ideal customers. So how do you figure out who your ideal customers is if you have different product line? So I always recommend that, in business, you can sell everything and anything you want, but you can't market everything. For example, Coca-Cola has 2,600 brands, but 80% of their marketing budget is on Coke itself, right? Coca-Cola owns Chivita, they own Everwater, there are tons of brands that they even own that you guys don't even see in Nigeria. There's over 2,600 brands that they own, but they spend a lot of their money on Coca-Cola itself, right? So if you look at La Casera too, La Casera has different types of products. They have the original one that is apple, and then they have all these different variants, right? I think they're the ones that even own Smooth stuff, and all of that. But if you see their advert, a large chunk of their budget is on La Casera itself. What other company do we know? Even look at, just pick any company in the world that has a lot of products. You would find that a large chunk of their marketing budget goes to one specific product. Why is that important? Because that specific product allows them to choose an ideal customer base, and then they are able to bring people into that space and then, upsell whatever else that they need to upsell. It's just like us. We have, hey, Jenny Travels. Sorry. I saw somebody. Right. So we do have a number of products. We have Mastermind program. We have all these different programs that we have. However, a large chunk of our marketing, budget goes to the Strategy Factory itself. Why? Because we believe if people come into the Strategy Factory, they can maybe go to the Mastermind. There's a lot of things that can happen with them, when they come in like that. So you need to figure out how do you get the ideal customers to, but we're not going to talk so much about marketing because we have an entire class that we've done a couple of weeks ago on marketing channels, but I'll touch on that. So, why is this an important topic for us? It's an important topic for us because a lot of us, we bootstrap our business, right? A lot of us, we bootstrapped our business. So you started your business by yourself, alone, and especially if you've experienced some level of success without any actual marketing, we don't prioritize marketing early enough, right? So, when I see people who say, we don't do any marketing, all our clients come to us by referrals, it's good, but it's a prophecy for how big the business can never get. There is no big business on the face of the earth that does not engage in some form of marketing. Now, they might not engage in the form of marketing that you recognize, but there's always some form of marketing, right? There's always some form of marketing, right? Always some form of marketing. Most people don't even understand. I watched a documentary recently that, when Elon Musk bought Tesla, after he bought Tesla, one particular day, the president of the United States tweeted something, and Elon Musk had tweeted something else, and he realized that, and this is fact, what I'm about to say actually exists, that the president of the United States tweet got more mileage than him, and he called his tech team and said, why is the president of the United States getting more mileage than me? So they reorganized the algorithm. That's why you notice that Elon Musk will tweet something, and whatever it is, it will set the tone for the internet on that particular day, particularly on Twitter, because he bought Twitter as a marketing tool, right? What's the name of our friend? I think it was Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post, as a marketing tool. So while you might, see all the whatever, but marketing is marketing. Why do you think Amazon, when you buy things from Amazon, it comes in an Amazon box? That box is a marketing tool. Because Amazon most likely didn't produce the thing. They could just have sent you the thing in anything, but they put their brand on it so that when you see it, it came through Amazon. That's a marketing tool. So, but you have to prioritize marketing quite early in your life. And so what happens when you don't prioritize marketing quite early is that people say things like, oh, I don't need marketing because, so you see a lot of laziness to market and a lot of pride. All my clients come to me from referrals, I don't need marketing, blah, 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 and all that. And if you are still saying that, you might need to stop it because, there is absolutely not, even religion, that is one of the most contagious products on the face of the earth, still needs marketing, still does marketing. Isn't that true? Oh, somebody said they can't hear me. Is that the case? Please, can anybody hear me? And Mr. Ayodeji, if you can hear me now, can you say yes, that you can hear me? Just so that I'm sure. If you can hear me, type yes. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay, I want to be sure that Mr. Ayodeji can hear me. Okay, great. Mr. Ayodeji can hear me. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So whatever it is that you're doing, you have to figure out, how do I do marketing? Like I said, is how do you get the people who have your money in their pockets to know you, like you, trust you, right? They have to know you, they have to like you, they have to trust you, right? So whatever it is that your business is doing, even if it looks like you are not, you don't directly serve, B2C customers, marketing is also how am I getting in the right rooms of the people who are my target audience, right? Who are the people who can move the needle as far as my business is concerned. So we already did a long session, about a 2-hour session on marketing channels. So I'm just going to summarize this part, particularly for those of us who might not have listened to that session. So I just spent maybe 10 minutes or 5 minutes here. So we talked about the fact that there are different marketing channels. The first of them that we identified was ads, right? I believe that no matter what you're doing, have an advertising budget. Why are ads important? And here we mean digital ads first. So let me just be clear. Why are ads important? Ads are important because you can target people, right? So I'm in my house right now, and there are some of you, whatever business you're in, it might be important. Assuming that I'm your, okay, let me give you a perfect example. So I had about 4 weeks ago, I had one of my neighbors just right here moved into a newly built house. He bought the house. It was, house that, they had finished building. It was 4 5-bedroom duplexes. And this guy bought one of them, right? And then he moved into the house, and he moved in with a Rolls Royce, a purple Rolls Royce, right? A beautiful car, by the way. And it's in a new neighborhood. We do have a number of neighbors who drive Rolls Royce, so they're doing okay, But he's in a new neighborhood, so one day he parks his Rolls Royce outside, right in front of the car. He's just sitting on top of his car, fiddling with his phone, and I and my wife were driving in. We looked at the car, like, oh, really nice car, said hello to the guy, and then we drove into our house. From the day that we saw that one, now I've had neighbors that are that own Rolls Royce, but they don't live. I mean, they live in the estate, but they don't live like really close to my house. From the day that we saw that thing, every day for the next 3 weeks, Rolls Royce targeted me on Instagram. I mean, those of you that look at my WhatsApp status, you notice that I started sharing, because every day I wake up in the morning, if I branch Instagram street 2 seconds, I don't see Rolls Royce page showing me all the features. Some of these people, they rate me. I guess after like 3 weeks, when they realize, say, we missed road. I know they see them again. I don't see them again. But now, just imagine, right, that the way I'm seeing the ads, I'd like to think that a lot of people around me are seeing. There's a very popular pastor that lives about a couple of houses from me, who I haven't seen him in a Rolls Royce, but I know that he has a Mercedes-Benz Maybach. He drives, because I've seen him drive a Mercedes-Benz Maybach. So imagine that kind of guy now. Let's assume that guy spends some time on Instagram. Let's assume that guy also would say, because what would happen is that they would geolocate that place, and then they'll be pumping everybody with ads, right? And so that guy might have gone to buy a Rolls Royce, price the Rolls Royce, I don't know, $600, $500, $1 million, all that effort would have paid out. Mine is coming. Amen. 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 But how many houses I was not buy before I buy that kind of thing? Because if you want to buy a Rolls Royce, you're not just going to have 2 million, 2 billion in your account. Now take 1 billion and 1.2 billion and go and buy a Rolls Royce. But then we do that kind of thing. The angel that they assign to you will give up. Right? So you want to do ads because ads can allow you to target only by the grace of God. So ads can allow you to target people. You can find people inside your houses. You can find them anywhere. The second is referrals. And here what we mean is we want you to be deliberate in instigating referrals. So put campaigns in place for people to actually refer you, right? Let there be something in it for them. Provide significantly good value and good service. I mean, we're going to talk a lot about referrals and all that when we get to sales. Next is speaking engagement. I don't care what you do. You run an agri business. There is a community of people that are possible clients of yours that you can go, you could connect with, you could figure out what's happening. I mean, in the last strategy factory, the one that happened 2 days ago, there's a particular guy. He came from Benin. He owns a business called Naira Grill. You should check them out. It's a big business. It's a big business. They have 3 locations in Benin, and their business, so it's grill, like, chicken grill, that stuff. And the business already does about 400 million a year in revenue, right? And so it's like a takeout. Well, they have a couple of chairs, but it's mainly takeout restaurant. So, one of the things that we started to talk to him about was, so now we're trying to see, because I did have a meeting with him yesterday. How do we take this to a billionaire? How do we sort of move the needle a little bit further? And because they provide a lot of other meals, and the like. So I said, okay, are there offices around? Are there offices around your store? They have one store that grosses 30 million a month. Are there offices around that store? It says, there are offices. Okay, good. Can you go to those offices, connect with and not because I'm talking about banks and all that where the hierarchy is very high. I'm talking about offices that are doing okay, but they have 10, 20 staff, and then convince those CEOs, Naira Grill, convince those CEOs to sponsor, to support their staff by buying, lunch for their staff every day. Right? Buying lunch every day for their staff. Just, so we now said, okay, are there business conferences that happen where, top business people come around? So good. So sponsor those conferences, go there, speak, and talk about, you should be the champion of staff welfare, and helping people to understand that, look, when your staff have to buy food from outside, look at how much time they lose. They lose about an hour. What's the productivity of that 1 hour? Versus what does it cost to be able to buy them food? Because by the time you're able to do that, you might get some of these organizations who say, you know what, supply food to our restaurants, to our offices, or, they would pick the lunch and then you just deliver it to them. Now, you see, and I use that example because, it's a food business. What does a food business have to do with speaking engagement? You now see that the food business, the CEO can become the champion for staff welfare, and he's talking about why welfare is very important, blah, 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 and it turns around for business, right? And that also is likely with organizations. What is organization? Not just corporate organizations, but groups of people, right? Are there ways in which we can get groups of people to buy from you? Groups of people to buy from you, not just sort of individuals, groups of people, right? So, you like how Gerard does digital marketing. Beautiful. Digital marketing is great. Is there a group of entrepreneurs in Kano, a group of entrepreneurs in Kaduna, whatever, that already exists? They're already there. You go there, you meet with the owner of the business, and you say, you know what, I would provide you, the owner of the business, digital marketing advice at no cost. But what you will do is that you will now name me as the official digital marketing expert for the community, and then I will give you guys a rate card, 500,000, 100,000 per month to engage my services. So all the person needs to do is, to be able to engage, that service, right? It's something that we've done with a number of our vendors also. There are people who, we've opened the community up to, and the services that they offer to us are to us at no cost, or they are priced at a discount so that we can offer that opportunity to people. Our media, for example, Daniel has done our videos for the last 10, 12 years. He does it for us at a slightly low discount, but for that discount, we then recommend him to anybody who comes to us and say, oh, we would like to do an event. Oh, Daniel is your guy, right? Daniel probably generates 7, 8, 9, 10 million a month just based on our recommendation from time to time. So you want to try that kind of thing, Next is alumni who's bought from you already, and how do you make them buy again and again and again? Next is social media. Social media is who are the people who, or rather, what does your social media presence, your digital presence, essentially, what does it say about you? Does it support the brand you're trying to build? If somebody hears about you, just hears about you and goes online to check about you, would what they heard and what they see on your pages match from a brand perspective, from a perception perspective, right? Because some of us, and I mean this for both your personal and business page, because I mean we're still lying to ourselves to think that any social media page is personal. There's absolutely no social media page that is personal. Every social media page is business now. Every social media page is business, and that's the truth. Everybody is, if you have a page, except you do not exist online. If you do, in fact, not existing online is a disadvantage, because, like we say, that the real life is the one online now. The fake life is the one that you're living offline. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean is that, people form their opinion. All of us in this room, we hear about somebody for the very first time. We pick up our phone, we go on Google, we search the person's name out, and the conversation and whatever it is that we see, the conversation sort of builds up from there. Next is email marketing. Email marketing is to ensure that, and this is very important, if you have people on social media and whatever it is that you have them, try and take them out of social media platforms to some other platform like email marketing, WhatsApp groups, and the likes, just so that you can keep the relationship up, and so that you don't get, for example, Instagram now has this thing where it's only about 5% of your followers that would see anything that you post organically. In fact, to get 30 to 40% of your own followers to see your post, you must now run ads. So, but if you send an email, you might see that you have a 30% open rate or 50% open rate, or depending on how committed your people are to you. All right. Next is community, which is all of the people that have bought from you. Can you build a community out? In fact, which is what we are doing. For example, every one of us that is in this room right now is either in one community that we exist. You're either in the LBA community that has maybe about 8,000 people, which is a community of people who know about us but have not bought from us, or you're in the LBA alumni community, which is a community of those community groups, about 2 groups there, which is a community of those who have bought from us, at least bought our basic products, Strategy Factory or whichever one of them. Or you're in the convention group, which is a community of those that are coming to the convention, or you're in the mastermind group, which is a community of those that we're working with for the year. So, and in that place we have, and in every one of those communities, we have community events. The mastermind event happened 2 days ago. In 4 days ago, Strategy Factory happened 2 days ago. The LBA community event, the LBA alumni event, we have about 2-3 events every single month, that happens for them. The convention community has 2 engagements every week. By the way, after this class, we're going to be sharing the content for this current week after this class also. So you want to do that. And then drip list is anybody who has said, I will buy, but haven't bought. So for example, we have at the moment, let me be sure. We have 301 plus 706 plus 202. Yes. So in our drip list for the convention now, right now as we speak, we have about 1,200, right? 1,200 in our drip list. So this is 1,200 people who have said to us, I'm coming to the convention, and a number of them have not made a commitment yet. So we have about 1,200 people. So what are we doing? We're going to call, find out how we can provide value to these people, try and see how we can make this work over the next 30 days, right? So that's drip list, right? Why is it important? Stay in touch with them, because if you don't stay in touch, what will happen is that people's lives will change, things will get better, they will be able to afford whatever it is you're trying to sell, but you will not be the person who will sell it to them because you sort of you fell out, I mean, and I say this, that if you've ever sold something, how many of us here, and you can unmute yourself to say this, How many of us here have ever sold something and it was a high ticket product, but it was so easy to sell? It was like the person was waiting for you to come and sell them that thing. You know, you were surprised at the speed of sale. How many of us have ever had that situation where you were truly surprised at the speed at which the person bought from you? Okay. Right?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Michael. I work with Markrich Consulting. I sell real estate and
hello.
Yes,
hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, fine. I sell real estate and I put it online and I said to my client in Abuja, and very fast. Yeah, it has really working for me.
Good.
This is fixed.
Anytime somebody buys from you very quickly, it is proof that there is somebody else who has already educated them and that person did not stay in touch. So anytime somebody buys from you quickly, it should be a lesson in business for you. That's the truth. You know, it's not just about it's be excited perhaps about it, but let it be a cautionary tale, honestly, right? Because anytime somebody buys, promise, you want to say something? Do you want to say something, sir? Because you raised up your hand.
Oh, sorry. You know, you said we could share, but I think since somebody has shared, I'll just put my hand down. Apologies.
Oh, no. You can share.
Oh, okay. No, it's just, I think, similar. And I actually agree with what you are saying, because eventually we found out that we were referred to that person through somebody who had bought from us, some time ago. And so it was very quick, almost about 2 million for like a 2-day training, which was, for us at that time was quite high ticket, Exactly. In fact, we were afraid to charge, and we were so surprised at how quickly the person, they didn't even negotiate. Send your bill, and and the rest was history.
Fantastic. So and this is very important, because you don't want to do the work for somebody else, So you must make sure that you stay in touch with people. The next is networking. So networking is critical, because it depends on what you sell, but it's important that you put yourself in a place where you can meet the quality of people that you are hoping to do business with. Some of us are in such businesses where they are not found. Let's assume you are the kind of person, let's assume you are the person who sells Rolls Royce now. People that want to buy Rolls Royce, they are not, you can't find them on the street. You can't stand in a Allen roundabout or Ajah roundabout or VGC roundabout, and see them on the streets, right? But you can go to places where they are most likely going to be. So I always use this illustration. If I wanted to sell a G-Wagon, for example, where would I sell it faster? If I park a G-Wagon in Alaba, no, not Alaba, Alaba can still flow, Ajegunle, and I put a jerrycan on it that says for sale, right? Or I park it on Onikoyi Drive, Onikoyi Drive, the one that leads to Banana Island, and I put for sale there. I'm most likely going to get somebody that's driving in there to pick up the phone and call me than I might be able to get from this other end here, right? Because you have to be in the right room. But one of the major reasons why networking is also very critical is that when you connect to the right people in the right place, right, they assume your competence. If 2 people meet themselves in the White House, if 2 Nigerians meet themselves in the White House, anything they say to each other, they would very easily believe it. Because what are the chances of 2 Nigerians meeting in White House, right? If you go to the club and there's a VIP section where you need 100 million naira to enter, and 2 of you are inside that place, anything you guys are discussing, it's very difficult for that person to doubt it. Because what are the chances that 2 people would consider 100 million naira a fair price to just sit down inside the room? Right? So you want to do that very, very. I have too many stories to tell on this, but it's just safe to say There's somebody we're currently working with in our community who is, in process of accessing £300 million, and it's a function of networking. So it again, at some levels it's quite expensive, because this was quite expensive for the person. It involved 2 to 3 trips to London, specifically additional cost of almost $6,000 to $8,000 to be able to get into certain meetings in the House of Lords. But it paid off. It doesn't always pay off, but it did in this case. And last is WhatsApp status, and here is basically for those of us who have contact people who buy our stuff. So having said that, there's a 2-hour class on marketing channels. Please look at it. The second pillar is sales, right? Whatever reason you are in business, if you don't sell, you won't be in business for long. And that's the truth. No matter why you're in business, if you don't sell quickly, if you don't sell a lot, you're not going to be in business for a very long time. So selling is critical to our business, right? Selling is critical to our business, right? And again, we do have a module on sales to the Strategy Factory community. If you have attended Strategy Factory, you've probably been a part of this before. If you want to ask a question, you can ask it. Some people are raising up their hand. Just ask the question. If I read the question, I can even unmute so that you can, answer and just ask it properly, and then we can have a discussion. Right, good. So selling is really so we've taught this before. We say selling is a transfer of certainty. And the assumption here is that if the person who you are talking to is as sure about your ability to deliver what you say you can deliver as you are sure, they are most likely going to give you the business, right? So let's say you are a builder, you build houses, you have 20 years experience, you build houses at the highest level, you are sure of your capabilities, right? Good. The problem is that the person you're talking to is not as sure about your capabilities as you are. So it might be because they don't even know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you. But if all those things are fixed, they are most likely going to get the business, right? So everything that you do must be to transfer certainty every single time you walk around. And you must transfer certainty about your product, your company, and yourself, right? Your product, your company, and yourself. Because sometimes they like you as a person, they just don't think the product is a fit for them. Sometimes they like you, they like the product, but they are concerned about the reputation of the company that you represent in the events where you do not work for yourself, right? Sometimes they like the company, they like you, but they don't think that they need that kind of product. Sometimes they like the product, they like the company, but you're just the one that has not dealt with them fairly in some case. So again, there are different situations, but these 3 things, and I didn't come up with this, is a guy called Jordan Belfort. Jordan Belfort is the guy that is popularly called the Wolf of Wall Street. So if you remember the Wolf of Wall Street movie, that movie was done patterning after that guy. It's one of the greatest salesmen in the country. But this is very important for us to note, right? So I've said this so many times to our community, maybe our mastermind alumni community. I said, look, in terms of sales, right? For a business to start, now, a hobby is different. For something to be considered a business, the entrepreneur must sell consistently, right? For a business to grow, the entrepreneur and the employees must sell consistently. So if you work in an organization, your employees are not selling, your business cannot grow. Because, how much can you possibly sell consistently, right? There is no single person on the face of the earth that can sell enough to be able to grow a company significantly, right? And why is it important? Because for us to say a company has grown, it has to grow beyond the individual capability of the CEO. That's the test that something has grown. For a business to scale, and what a scale means, it means that the business sales has gathered what is called momentum. For a business to scale, the entrepreneur must sell consistently, the employees must sell consistently, but the customers, more importantly, must sell consistently, right? And all I need you to do is think about any business on the face of the earth that has scaled. And what I mean scale, that is selling like no man's business. Any business on the face of the earth, right? You would find that the entrepreneur is selling, the employee is selling, the customer is selling. Whether it is Dangote Cement that everybody is selling, including Dangote is selling the cement, the employees are doing the same, the customers are probably doing a lot more, right? Or it is Facebook, where a lot of us are selling on Facebook. We're calling people to join Facebook or TikTok or Telegram or what have you, or it is Tesla, where people buy a Tesla and they are excited about it. They do a video and post it online, video that Elon Musk does not even know, is not paying for, nothing, right? For a business to scale, the entrepreneur, the employees, and the customer must sell. And so to create consistent, scalable sales, each customer must bring you 3 important value. And this is going to be the crux of our discussion this evening. 3 important value. 3 very, very critically important value that each customer must bring in. I mean, Coca-Cola, yes, thank you so much, Adedeji. 3 important value. And this is very, very important that you might need to write some of these things down. The first is, now, you might not get all 3, but I think that you should prime your organization to at least get one of these 3 things from your customers. One of these 3 things. You must get one of these 3 things from your customer. The first of them is testimonial value, right? When you offer somebody a product or service, provide opportunities for them to give testimonials. We see it when you finish doing an Uber ride, you rate the whatever. And after a while, they would ask you to give them Google reviews, right? Or you go to a hotel, or you go to... Why? Because once you get this testimonial value, you can target a lookalike audience or access their social capital. Now, one of the ways we do this very, very, very well is, for example, when people come to the Strategy Factory, we always ask them to give us a video testimonial. Now, not everybody does, and we don't even have time to take everybody. But in a class of about 40 people, sometimes we get up to 15, sometimes we get up to 20. In fact, sometimes, I specifically tell Daniel, this and this and this and this people are top picks for me. Why? I'm trying to pick people sometimes who have very large social capital, Why is it important? Because, there are videos till today. There are videos from people who gave us testimonials in 2016, 2017, that are still making money for us till today. They are still making money for us till today. One of our speakers at this convention attended our workshop in 2018, I believe, gave a testimonial. The testimonial is still making money for us till today because the value of that testimonial increases as the profile of that speaker increases. And the person spoke. So, you cannot ungive a testimonial, right? So try and get whether it's testimonial video or a testimonial written on WhatsApp. You can blot out the person's name. It doesn't matter, especially if the person doesn't want to be known. But it matters that you try to get. You might not always get it. There are people that we've asked for testimonials. They've, maybe they're very private people or, what have you. But you might not always get it. But just essentially try as much as possible to get it. The second is referral value. So every person is a bridge. Every human being is a bridge to somebody else, right? So our job must be, how can we turn them into a bridge, right? So can we get referral value from them? So, and to do that, by the way, you have to provide massive customer experience, so you have to make sure that their joy towards you is overflowing, so that they even refer you without you even trying to instigate it, right? They go through the product or the service, and they were very excited. They enjoyed their what have you. They enjoyed the service that they got, so much so that, without even telling them, they are, just vomiting over everybody around them to tell them about you, your product, your service, and the like. So very, very important. You must get testimonial value, referral value, and the last of them is you must get repeat sales value. Now, you might not get everything from each of them, but the way I like to look at it is that everybody that comes into our community, every single person that comes into our community, we want to get one or two of this from them. We really want to get one or two of this from them, right? Which is, can we get them to testify about the value? 2, can we get them to refer somebody to us? 3, can we get them to come back and buy something else from us? So you have to get one of these 3. The third factor, the third pillar, is our operations, right? I'm not going to say too much about this, but this is it. Can your current operational excellence be maintained when your anticipated growth comes? You see, there's a lot of businesses that it is growth that has killed the business. Growth itself has been the one that has killed the business. And the reason why growth kills businesses is because somebody wrote something. So if we can't get all, is there a must? So I don't think there's the most important one. You can omit. But I think my own rule is we must get at least one from them. I try to get all 3. But at least I want to get one, right? And we structure our business in such a way that we can get all 3. So, for example, when you come to the Strategy Factory, we provide an opportunity for you to do a testimonial video. And I don't know if you remember when you came for the Strategy Factory, that night when I get home or early the next morning, depending on when everybody gets back in, I usually write a thank you message, and I usually ask people to send in their review from the Strategy Factory, right? So what happens is that people send in their reviews. All of those reviews that they are sending, oh, thank you very much, Mr. Promise, right? All of those reviews that they send are testimonials for us, right? So we can screenshot it, and then we can keep them, right? We will blot out the person's name, but they're testimonials, for us. Then, so that's testimonial value. Remember, when you come for Strategy Factory, we give you a referral form. We ask you to refer people. Not only do we do that, our staff, the person in charge of Strategy Factory, Bola, or maybe Tega, or somebody else who will speak with you eventually, would ask you to refer. In fact, all of us who have paid, who are in the convention group, that's what we're going to be doing. In fact, it's my own job this week is to pick up the phone and call everybody in the convention group and tell them that they should please refer somebody that can, because if we can get every single person to just get one person in, that'd be perfect. That'd be amazing, right? Just each one get one. So we want to get that. The next is repeats. So we structure most people that come for trainings, they finish the training, they just throw all of you out into the open. We keep people inside a community deliberately because we wanted to offer consistent value going forward so that we can have them at some point repeat. So whether it is, for example, we have some people, they've attended everything that we've done. They've done convention every single year. They've done Strategy Factory. Some people, in fact, we have some people that have done Strategy Factory 7 times, right? So all of that, they've done all of that stuff. So you want, but again, we don't get everybody. If we got everybody to give us all 3, we would be maybe 10 times, 20 times, 100 times larger than we are now. So you never really get everybody to give you all 3. And sometimes you don't even get people to give you at least 1, but you should just try. Your goal should be at least to get 1. And if you can get all 3, that'll be fine. Paper World says we can actually get all 3 if we are diligent and consistent with what we do. I've gotten all 3. Yeah, you will get all 3. But what I mean is that to get all 3 from each customer it's almost impossible, right? There are people that we've gotten all 3 from. There are people in this room. I can even name names. There are people in this room, like Mr. Emmanuel. There are people in this room. Even the promise we're talking about. There are people in this room. Mrs. Bemi. There are people in this room that we've gotten all 3 from. And in fact, if we check our community, maybe we have more than 100 of those. But that we've gotten all 3 from every single person. I can't even honestly tell you that we've gotten at least 1 from every single person. We've tried, but maybe if we look at the numbers, well, we'll probably find 90%, 95% of people that we have at least gotten 1 from. But the idea here is you want to be very deliberate, right? So, but back to operations is, Nigerians, we're very, 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 very good. We're very good at planning to grow and not as good as planning for growth. We're very good at preparing to grow. Preparing to grow is, the dreaming, the marketing, all of that stuff. Preparing for growth is the operational efficiency required to carry the new weight that is coming. So I'll give you an instance, right? There's the reason, for example, that we only take a certain amount of people into the mastermind, because it requires a different a different level of commitment than the average, and it takes a toll on the team, right? You want to make sure that as you're growing, you're preparing, you're staffing right? You're putting people in the right place, right? So, and it leads me to this: are your people transforming from being available to being capable? Most of us, when we started our business, we hire people that are available. Let me give you a perfect example. You are hiring somebody, I might be wrong, but you are hiring somebody on the basis of availability. If you're paying that person less than 100K a month. In fact, in some industries, depending on the industry, if you're paying the person less than 1 million for 500K a month, you're hiring somebody based on availability, right? So what then happens is that we now want to work with that person to be able to transform, right? Training, growth, all that stuff. And if the person adheres to the growth plan, figures out how to grow, does all of that, maybe the person can move up and become one of the people that is capable, right? But most of the time, or rather, not most of the time, sometimes it's difficult for people to move because sometimes people just get comfortable. If they get comfortable, what then happens is you have to change them, right? So you have to let some people go, and then you have to bring in some other people so that the things can keep going. Because if you don't do it like that, a very good thing that you have built will spoil, and it will spoil because it grew. Growth is very unforgiving, because don't forget, your people, if they don't see the quality of service that they used to see, and oftentimes the quality of service that they let me give you an instance. Perfect example. How many of us here have been in a situation? How many of us have been buying bread from a particular bakery before? Right? You're buying bread. There used to be a bread, value bread. How many of us here remember value bread? Anybody remember value bread?
Yes, I remember.
Yes, I remember value bread
UPDP.
from USC.
Yes.
Good. So people, when they buy value bread, they eat value bread. But after a while, how many of us started to feel as if value bread started to reduce their quality? Right? How many of us here?
Yeah.
We all felt like they reduced their quality, right?
Yes.
Good. You see,
Yes.
that statement that you made.
Not just the quality, the stability also reduced. Before I stopped, sometimes you buy value bread for 5 days, it still looks fresh and tastes fresh. But after some time, if you buy it within 3 days, it will start to grow mold.
So let me shock you. It is scientifically impossible for value bread to reduce their quality. The reason why we think they reduce their quality is that our taste buds got more sophisticated and they did not improve their quality. So all the time when we say people reduce their quality, what we really meant is that people did not increase their quality. And I'll tell you why. I have a manufacturing business too, right? In manufacturing, there is batch formulation. The hardest thing to change in this life is batch formulation. Do you understand? The batch formulation is that 3 grams of this, 2 grams of this, 2 grams. They kept doing the same thing without improving it, and then we got the impression that they were reducing the quality. And where does it now feel now that you now buy it and then in a shorter time it then gets spoiled? Because when we start feeling like they are reducing quality, we stop buying with the intensity with which you used to buy. When we stop buying with the intensity with which you used to buy, products stay longer in their shelf before they get to our table. When it stays longer in their shelf, why do you think that you bought a bread on Tuesday and you thought it was made on Tuesday morning? It was made last week, Wednesday. You're getting it on Tuesday. By Wednesday, it already has mold. So what does that mean? It means that if you are not improving, you are declining. That's what it means. That if your process is not getting better, it is getting worse. So the definition of maintaining your process is that you are constantly improving your process. I'll give you a final example before we move on from here. How many of us here will go to church? When you go to church, I wish my camera could come on. When you go to church and your pastor will want to do anointing service, he will say everybody should raise up their hand, Abi, to receive anointing. Anybody there? Anybody there's a witness there that have received anointing before? Raise up your hand, right? So as the pastor says, raise up your hand, and he's praying and praying and praying. Remember, when the pastor says raise up your hand will be very high, Abi. Then after the prayer is now going on, the prayer doesn't want to end. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. How many of us notice that hands are already going down? Yeah?
Yes.
Hands are going down.
Very
Because
true.
men don't get tired. So
Those people will be carrying their bag.
the prayer, the hand will go, but the way the pastor used to get everybody's hands to go up, then as he's not praying, I say, and for those whose hands are up, their hands would always, everybody puts their hands up again, Abi. Good. The only way to keep a standard is to keep raising it. The only way to keep values, to keep operational excellence, is to keep raising the standard, right? So what does that mean? It means that your workplace, your office, people that work in your office must be in a constant state of being uncomfortable. Do you understand? Like, I was watching a documentary today of the people who work with Elon Musk. And you know what they said? They said they realized that their job is to be comfortable with the concept of discomfort. That's what it takes to work with Elon Musk. That a lot of people don't, I mean, I think a lot of people like him. It's only you, all of you outside that. Like, in fact, when I read Steve Jobs' biography by Isaac, is it Isaacson, or Isaac Watson or something? He said that there's always the talk about the Steve Jobs demon. That Steve Jobs, inside of Apple, they consider him being possessed by a demon. That's how it is. In fact, another documentary about Tim Cook. They said this is how Tim Cook is. So you and Tim Cook, you are in the Silicon Valley. You're in the Apple headquarters, and you're discussing maybe normal. So you are one of the directors, and you're discussing, and then you bring out one of the challenges that the company has in China, for example, right? And so you guys discuss, they discuss a couple of things that you should do and all that. And the meeting goes on. After like an hour, Tim Cook will stop the meeting and say, Ogbani, what are you doing in this meeting? You say, you should be on a flight to China by now. You're the one that discussed that there's a problem. We have given you idea. What on earth are you doing in this meeting? You should. So usually, when people finish meetings like this, or when they have discussed your matter, you carry your bag, you move. So if people are constantly comfortable, and the idea of being comfortable, and everybody is, it means that you are either not preparing for growth, or you're not planning to grow at all, or you're not preparing for growth when it comes. So it's very, very important that, and the reason why this is important is that worse than no customer is an angry customer. Angry customers are very difficult though, because, and sometimes it's not just your fault. I mean, I can understand. I mean, I've had customers that are angry at me that has very nothing to do with me. And if I get lucky enough, sometimes I get lucky, they discuss it with somebody that knows me. The person picks up the phone and calls me. And I tell them, this is the situation, And, because I'm planning to be a very, very successful person. And, and if you're planning to be a very successful person, you must get comfortable with people talking about you in ways that are not entirely true. But if a customer is going to be angry, they shouldn't be angry about the operational mishap, right? So please, you want to work on that, right? And lastly is finance. Finance, money. Most people don't realize that as a business gets bigger, there's a bigger struggle about money. How many of us are aware that most of your big men, money is not as easy to come by for them to. Not the kind of money you are looking for. Some of you, the kind of money we are looking for, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million. It's not the kind of problem that they have. So first is, how protected is your company's money? And here, what we are asking is, as your business then gets successful, right? You need to now start to get some professionals into your payroll, or get some consultants in some industries into your payroll. Number one, legal. Number two, tax. Next is accounting. Right? Which other one that is very, very important? Internal control. Quality control. All these people need to now become people that you can get into. Why? Because, okay, let me, for the example, how many of us heard of one particular governor, former governor, he's now a senator. He said he mistakenly signed off the entire free trade zone of his state to a particular country. How many of us, how many of us heard that one? Very embarrassing statement. But how many of us heard it?
How's Ogun State now? Ogun State governor.
Bros, now you mentioned, no be me. I don't mention in case they listen. But I mean, just imagine, and you know, the typical thing that would have happened would be that somebody drafted an agreement and they didn't read it. They just signed it. And in signing it, they just signed off the entire, what do they call that thing? Free trade zone. Now, do you know how devastating that thing is? Because oftentimes a state's free trade zone is the easiest place they can attract investment into. So you go to China, or you go to Dubai, or you go to Japan, or you go to any other country, and you say, look, we're trying to get investments. When you bring your money to our states, we'll put you in a free trade zone where you would not be paying taxes, right? And as long as you would, choose to hire our locals, all these things that, typically you do. So now he has signed off the entire free trade zone to a particular country. What that means is that it is very unlikely that they can get investment from any other country, because they cannot promise that country free trade zone. Right? So, very important. Taxes. Because the bigger you get, remember, the two assumptions we made at the beginning of this class was, you want to build a big business. A big business is, in our own view, a business that would do $1 billion a year, thereabout, and a business that would take care of its employees, a business where the person who enjoys the success is not just the entrepreneur, but the employees, right? So as you get bigger, the taxman is optimized to only find you when you're big, or to only come at you when you're big, right? Because if you are small and they come at you, you can just, especially if it's a limited liability company, you can just shut down the company and walk away. But when you're big, there's a lot at stake. I mean, you can't just leave. I mean, Unilever or Procter & Gamble or any of those guys can't just, they can't just walk away from a brand that they've built with billions of dollars for decades, right? So as you get bigger, you want to have legal. Another reason why legal is important, as you get bigger, you want to review your documentations very quickly, a lot more qualitatively with your staff, documentation with your vendors, documentation with everybody. And people are going to come at you. There are very, very few billionaires that are not always in court. Always in court. I mean, I had one client like that. She had a problem. And I remember that I asked, I said, who's the company lawyer? She said, I don't have a lawyer. I said, you're already doing 800, 900 million. You must go and get a lawyer. There's no version on that. At this stage, even if you don't want to pay a lawyer, go and look for one of your friends in secondary school that is now a very, very good lawyer, works in a very good legal firm. Every month, take him out to lunch or to dinner, buy him food, feed his stomach, and let him open his mouth and feed your brain, right? So, or just hire a good one, right? And there are very good ones in the community. Mrs. Bim is one of them. And she's inside the community. She's here, in fact. So there's tax, accounting. So accounting is, taxes is figuring out how much you can pay, or if there are tax breaks, and all the tax opportunities that are there. Accounting is really just making sure that we're looking at where the money is coming from, where it's going, cash flow management, exactly, right? Internal control is to be sure that what people are saying is true. So for example, our friend that we discussed with yesterday, one of the biggest challenge that he has, which all of us here would have, is the moment you have a business grossing 400-500 million and you have 45 employees and you have structures and all those things put in place, you have to be worried about people stealing, because people will steal if there's an opportunity to steal. So how do you put into and when we discussed that, he had like really, really beautiful internal control systems that if well monitored, it's not like it will eliminate stealing. So I was telling him yesterday, I said, look, in every industry, if you search, there are acceptable losses. I remember we're working with a pharmacy at some point, and we're talking about theft and all that kind of. So I said, look, you need to go and find out what's the percentage acceptable loss. I think the acceptable loss was like 5%, and by the time we calculated, we were operating at like 1.5%. Like, look, as bad as it is, we're still within reasonable space, right? I mean, you can solve all the problem. It's not possible. Everybody that works for you can be a saint. And it's okay. Jesus Christ didn't. All these people were not saints. Some of them were. One of them was a thief. Even the ones that seemed like they were okay, they were cowards. Somebody soldier came, cast Jesus, they ran away. The other one, they're asking questions. He was swearing that has never met him before. So everybody get their own, right? And quality control, which is to ensure that the quality of the business is the quality of our output is still working, right? So here we're talking, how much do you handle cash? How do you handle cash flow management, right? So how much cash is retained in the system consistently? Because again, with business, as a business grows bigger, there's expansion plans. We're trying to expand. There's a lot of things we're trying to do, and there's a lot of demands on our cash. So somebody asked the question, where is Abraham? You did not ask a question. Can you ask your question again? I can't find your question, please. Sorry, let me just go back and I'm trying to see if I can find your question. Empower by training the available. Yeah. So we try to do that. In fact, we recommend that you empower, you train the available to become capable. Right. So nothing stays static. Stagnant water starts to smell. Yeah. So where is Emmanuel? Emmanuel, so please respond to my question. And the only thing he said earlier was hi. So hi is not a question. So if you want to, would it be okay for you to just retype your question so that I can respond to it? Because I've tried to go back a little bit. I don't think I have found your question so far. No. So please, can you just type the question? Because whatever it is that you type. Billionaire in sales volume. Well, sales volume and revenue, I think they're supposed to be the same thing. Revenue is sales volume. Or maybe you meant sales volume or profit. We're not talking about profit yet. We're saying sales volume because why are we not talking about profit? Profit is important. Don't get me wrong. Profit is very important. However, I think that I think that people should, if your business is doing less than $1 billion, the reason why I don't like to talk about profit is that profit can be very misleading. Let me tell you why I said so. So let me use, I don't know if the man that I met with yesterday, so it was in the room, and I'd love to share this if he's here. So he has a business, typical business. So he has a food business, right? And his food business, he relies on, it's a grill business. So there's catfish, there's chicken, there's turkey, there's all this kind of stuff that he does. So it's a 400 million naira business, right? And so he's making some profits. Maybe let's say he made about 60 million naira in profits, right? So he's already thinking now, this is a problem when people think about profits. He's already thinking that, okay, I'd like to run a vertical system. So he's thinking, should I take this 60 million naira and go and set up a catfish farm? Right? So his concern is, putting this money, this business might need a lot of money. Would he not be robbing Peter to pay Paul, like taking a business function? I said that's exactly the point. That there is a point where it would be advisable to open a catfish farm, but not yet. I said this 60 million, when you pay your bills, can you spend this money in improving the business? For example, the quality of your grills. Are there new grilling machines that you can get to speed up the grill? Don't worry about, because see, every business looks very easy to do from the outside. It's when you enter and you carry this your 60 million and you sink it inside catfish business that you realize that catfish business, at the scale and at the professionalism that you remember, at the professionalism that you demand, require 200 million naira to do. So I said, look, put this money, there are some things you need to do. Hire, get better grills, get this. And secondly, take some of this money, go back to your catfish supplier and say, you know what, I'm going to need to buy 200 million naira worth of catfish from you this year, right? Can we lock the price at so and so if I give you 20 million naira upfront? Do you understand? So that's very, 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 very important. Very, very, very important. Right? So it's important that, so why I said that is when you think about revenue, and as the money comes in, you pay your debt, you put more money into the business to scale the business. If I made 400 million naira and I can do 60 million naira profits, that's good. But can I reinvest this money into this so that maybe in another 2 years, this can become 1 billion naira, and then I can be making 300 million naira profits, perhaps. Right? So we have to think, because the people who think when Amazon says that they did not make profit for 21 years, it didn't mean that they did not make money. They made stupendous amount of money, but they were reinvesting every single kobo after paying of bills anyways, every single kobo into the business to build the infrastructure for what it is that they now have. Not only do they have the largest sales operation, e-commerce operation in the world, 85% of the entire internet rests on the shoulders of Amazon Web Services. Very important, right? So, okay, Abraham has written this question. Well, somebody said, please do a summary, bullet point of the program. I came in late. It's a long time. Difficult to do a summary. So, the recording's available, so you'll be able to watch it. I'll try and do a recap, but we're close to the end now. Abraham says, I'm into industrial cleaning, marble restoration, fumigation. My major challenge is marketing. I don't know how to run ads effectively, professionally, and that's why I don't have sales. So can you please recommend someone who can help me in this aspect? Okay, so there are people. So the first thing I mean, yeah, we would recommend somebody. If you get into the group, I don't know where you are. If you're in our alumni community, there are people who do that. So if you're not, I don't know how we can see again. So, but the first thing you have to understand that marketing is not sales, because sometimes a lot of us are doing marketing and we're expecting to see sales immediately. Marketing takes time. So I recommend that if you're going to do marketing and you want it to be done right, you have to adopt this mindset. The mindset is, I'm going to hire a staff. Sorry, my children are running up and down. I'm going to hire a staff. And the name of that staff is marketing. And I'm going to pay the staff salary every month for 10 months and see what comes out of it. And secondly, marketing, like we said at the beginning, towards the beginning, when we were talking about marketing, is not just about ads, right? It's you run a fumigation, industrial cleaning, marble restoration stuff. Beautiful. Mr. Abraham, can you unmute yourself? Let's try a few things, right? Let's try and make this very valuable for you too. Right? Try and unmute yourself. I want to ask you a few questions. Because sometimes we think about marketing and we're like, oh, we want to run ads. Run ads is good, but can we ask a few questions? Are you available? Huh? Person we're asking a question for is not available. Where's Mr. Abraham? If Abraham is not available, then we're not available to help.
Please, we are available. We are interested in the message.
Okay, good. So, Mr. Abraham, are you talking now? Is that you?
Oh, it's a different person.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I wanted specifically to talk to Mr. Abraham. We're gonna take questions from everybody else, but I wanted specifically to talk to him because sometimes we think about ads is a problem, but where. So let me give you an instance. So if Mr. Abraham were here talking, here's what I would have asked him. You do industrial cleaning. Industrial cleaning is cleaning done of buildings, right? Of buildings, post-construction cleaning for buildings, right? Good. So if they're doing post-construction cleaning for buildings, how many sites has he visited? I mean, go to Lekki, Aja, all Abraham Adesanya, all those places. They are building estates every freaking day. How many sites have you physically visited? Physically visited the site, see the progression of it, and you say, okay, the money that you want to spend on digital ads, let's say you want to spend 300,000 on digital ads. Yeah, unmute yourself, Mr. Abraham. Now. Let's say you want to spend 300,000 on digital ads, right? You take Mr. Abraham, you take 100K, you go to an estate and you say, okay, they are building 25 units or 45 units or whatever units that they are building, right? You say, oh, when are this building? When is it building? It's going to be over. Okay, good. Is it okay if I offer you my service to do one post-construction cleaning, one of them, just one building, just to clean a part of it so that you see? And if you like it, you will give me the contract to clean all the other ones, or you will give me the contact of all the people that have bought these houses so that we can clean it. But I'd like to think that most real estate companies that build houses do post-construction cleaning before they allocate, because they're not going to allocate nonsense to their people, right? That's a form of marketing, right? So how many I know some people that at least I have 2-3 people that I know who do interior designs and all that. And I told them, one of them, I said to him that, look, interior design, if you want to do interior design pretty well, you go to places. There are places where they are rebuilding houses. There are, people are building, people are modeling houses and all that. Go there and tell them what you do. Look for the site manager. Find ways. It's not just digital marketing. Digital marketing is good, but there are many ways that you can find the people that you need, right? So then how much are we spending? Are we managing our costs, right? But the only thing I would say is do not manage cost at the expense of quality. If the customers you serve are concerned about quality. Exactly. Mr. Abraham George said you have to physically do your outreach because that field is more fiscally. Exactly. You understand? So you want to go to places, and go and, because sometimes it's difficult for people. the people who I mean, Mr. Abraham, unmute yourself now. See you're available, unmute yourself, please. All you have to do is just unmute. You have everybody can unmute themselves. Unmute yourself. Do you understand? So you want to go to this different location, visit the place. How many sites? So if I was working with you, that's the question I would ask you. How many sites have you visited the last 30 days? Right? Physical site though. Because if you do post-construction training, you should visit. Go there every day. You should be every week. You should visit at least a new estate that is happening. Right? There are houses being built in Banana Island. There are houses being built in Aja. There are houses being built in the estates being built in Lekki Phase 1. There are estates being built in Chevron. There are estates everywhere. Do you understand? Then also your business is seasonal, right? Sometime either during the summer period or during November, December period, go to already established estate, Nikon Town, all these places. These people are traveling. They want to clean their house for Christmas. There's a lot of things. So there's physical places, right? You might even get more results going to the places physically. Let them see you, see the way your operation is, than just posting. In fact, when there's this guy, I've forgotten what he is. I've forgotten what, but I see him pop all over Instagram. He does. He mows lawns. He does landscaping. So he takes a camera, goes there, he offers free landscaping. Mr. Ibrahim, unmute yourself, but you're not saying anything now. He offers free landscaping and he does the videos. So if you go to a site in Abraham Adesoya now, and you offer them to clean one house or a part of one house at no cost, carry your camera. As you are cleaning it, do that's content. Do you understand? That's content for you. In the event where they don't give you, they cannot say again that you have not done a job for them. I've done free training in Shell. I remember I was coaching one guy on speaking. So he would fly me down to Port Harcourt, would have a session. So I wanted him to do a practical session with his team. And I said, for me to be able to, so that, because he was afraid that he won't get it right. He's a white guy. So I said, okay, I would package a leadership session to do alongside with him. So I did a leadership session. He didn't pay me a dime. I did a leadership session. And I did it inside Shell. There is nobody on the face of the earth that can ever say I've not done business for Shell before. Do you understand? Do you understand? We don't run them straight. You understand? So that's the thing. So in fact, I got a business from that because I remember when I did that session, I posted it online, geolocated Shell, and just posted it. You know when this kind of thing that you say, just finished this leadership training at Shell, Port Harcourt, blah, 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 blah. And some guys called me or sent me a DM and then called me to do a training for NPA, Nigerian Port Authority, as a result of that. So that's how you generate content, sir. Sir, you have work to do. So, like I said, we have to manage our costs, right? But don't manage costs at the expense of quality. If you have a client base to whom quality is important, it's not always that you have a client that quality is important for. But if you have a client who would notice the quality change, please do not sacrifice quality on the altar of cost, right? Please. It's very, very important. I know that because we're also in that type of business, and it's hard, very hard not to do. But it's just the way it is. In fact, it's one of the reasons why the convention cost how much it cost. I wish I could show you guys. The bill for the convention is and rather the bill to Eco Hotel, just that's not the bill for the company. The bill to Eco Hotel is about 183 million. But it matters. It matters to the participants. It matters that we put them in a location like that. It matters that we can bring the speakers to that type of location. It matters the exchange. It matters. That's why we do what we do, right? Why we. So somebody said, Kelechi says, like some of us in MLM product marketing, how can one scale up his operation to make more? So if you're in multi-level marketing, you know how to scale up now. You build a large team. Build a large team of 300 and something thousand people, right? And then you scale. It's really, well, I wanted to say it's really that simple, but it's not, right? But we do, if you're already, I will do this for you. If you're already in the convention community, meaning that you're already coming to the convention, you've paid for the convention, or you're paying for the convention, I have a training called Network Marketing Coaching Program that we did. We've done it for maybe 14,000 network marketers. It's generated and it's helped some of the biggest network marketers rise to the top, in companies like Longreach or Phytoscience or CashFX or Forever Living Products or New Life or Norland or, so I can send that to you if you're in the convention community. So Olufumilola, said I'm a female. Okay, well, we now live in the world where you have to emphasize that now. But run a fashion business for men, okay, where I sell men's fabrics, and also make the attire for them. My challenge is, apart from online marketing for new clients, what kind of offline marketing can I do to increase my monthly sales? Okay, so you already have people. So can Olufumilola unmute herself? Let's see if we can have a conversation. So you already have people who have bought from you,
Yeah,
right?
good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. You already have guys who bought from you, right?
Yes, I do.
Good. So a few things. One is, how do they buy? Do they buy, just one after? They buy like sporadically, or does somebody say, okay, I want to change my entire wardrobe, I want to upgrade my wardrobe, come and do this? Or do they just buy as they go?
No, they just buy and that's all. They just buy.
So,
Some of them I make for them. Some of them they just buy the fabric. So sometimes if they still need another set of fabrics, they might just buy other 1 or 2 or 3. It depends on how their need is here. But it's not as if I'm changing
I
the
think
wardrobe.
I think you have better chances scaling with people who are making the dresses from you than people who are buying the materials from you, because very rarely do men buy materials. I make clothes.
Yes.
So
Except for few that they insist that they already have their own tailor. So some of them just
yes.
buy and give to their tailor.
So the people who are buying from you, how can we move them up to saying, instead of buying one dress, can we have a deal where in the course of a year would make 10 dresses for you, or in the course of 6 months we'll make 10 dresses for you? So let's say you charge 50,000 or 40,000 per dress, you drop it down to like 35 if they're paying for 10 at a time. Do you understand? So you say to me, and I know this because I've had people do this for me. So they say to me that, look, you know what, pay us for 10 dresses. And if you pay us for 10 dresses, anytime you need a dress or you need something, we can turn it around in a very short time. Right? So he maybe he's going for an event, he calls you, say, I need a white dress, blah, blah, blah. You send the design. In about 3, 4, 5 days, you get it for him. He's a premium client. Do you understand? So he knows. And once you come, because you need to be able to, I like to think about clients in packages, because the moment you can think about a client in a package, say 10 dresses for 350K, for example, then now your business is now determined by how many men can I put on that package. Do you understand? If I can put 100 men on that package, that's 35 million naira. If I can put 1,000 men on that package, that's 350 million naira. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the moment you do that, because the reason why that's important for me is that the real value of your business is only the value of only the things that are repeatable. Anything that happens sporadically. So let me give you a perfect example. In our company, we have different products. Well, not a lot of products. We have the strategy factory, right? Right? We have the mastermind program, right? We have the strategy convention, right? Now, of these three products, the one product that is consistent is this. While this one could get us some money and a lot of money at that, and this one we make some money, well, the convention wouldn't even make money from it at all. Last year, as beautiful as that convention was, we lost 25 million naira on it, and it was okay. It served its purpose. But this one now, so the growth of staff salary, the growth of all the things that we want to do as far as staff is concerned, and the growth of the business and all the things, because every single thing that is repeatable must be dependent on revenue that is repeatable. I don't know if you're getting me from. Are you still with
I'm
me?
getting you, sir.
Good. So
Yes, I am.
So we build a lot of things on this because this is repeatable. So you want to find a way to move a client to a product type that is repeatable, right? So, meet some of these your clients and say, can we just style you for a whole year? What's going to be your style? How do you want to look? And can you have 10 dresses locked in with us? And and anybody who can get you 10, who can lock you in at 10 dresses is probably somebody who's influential, and how can we get the people that are around him to start to do that? So for me, that's, I will spend a lot more energy on those who are making the dresses than those who are buying fabrics, because if you didn't tell me now, I would not know that men buy fabrics. How many men here have ever bought fabric? I don't remember ever buying fabric in my life. I don't think I've ever. I'm telling you, like I'll just go and say, yeah, 3 years.
I said they do.
Even when
buy
I used to be in the
for men.
shirt making business. Even when I was in the shirt making business, I went to connect the person I'm supposed to get fabric from to the person that's supposed to make all the dresses, and I never went back there again. God help us. All right. So being able to track our costs helps us keep track of our expenses, and helps us to focus on optimize. So sometimes if you track expenses, you would know whether you need to optimize the process or not. Sometimes if you look at your expenses and see you're spending 20 naira on airtime, okay, all that 20 naira is 5k. Okay, good. Can we buy an entire 5k so that we don't have to worry about that, right? So I just want to take a few questions, I think, and then we'll talk about this. So, gosh, we're taking Jesus Christ. We have to stop now. Create content while doing volunteering work on site. I like this. Okay, cool. Thanks. Oh, okay. Thanks, Abraham. I specialize in admin work, including windows, railings, roofing. I've used multiple sites to market my service, but the potential clients often say they'll get back to me. I've noticed that many engineers already have preferred contractors and all that. That's why I said when you go there, if you go there to just market your service, when you do the kind of work that requires a high level of trust. If somebody comes to my site to try to market their aluminium services, it's very likely that I will not give them the opportunity to do it because I've not seen their work before, especially if they didn't show up in a G-Wagon, meaning that they're a big man, right? But if somebody comes to me and comes to my site and say, I do aluminium services, right? So here's what I will do for you. Give me one room here. Let me just fit the windows, fit this, fit that. It's a cost to you, but like I said, I would rather spend that cost fitting that window there than spending that cost doing an ad on Instagram. Because that ad on Instagram might not increase trust like that one is. So the guy says, okay, Some people might still not allow you, but the one, if you're lucky and somebody says, "Oh yeah, take this one room of our gatehouse or one window of our gatehouse," and you do it, while you are doing it, you carry camera and your camera people, you are collecting content. You say, "This is Zion Gate phase 1, and we are outfitting this is before and after." When you finish it, even if they don't give you the job at all, you now have content that you have done the video, the fitting for Zion Gate phase 1, and you can put it on your social media page. Now, somebody else that is building, some contractor that is building a new estate can see your stuff and now trust you because that person knows that Zion Gate and has seen that window. But if it's done right, that person can even say, "You know what? Take this other one. Let's run it." Right? So that's the way I see it, Chan. I don't know if that helped you. Good. So capital is, how do you raise capital? And this one I'm not going to spend. Yeah, you can brag. You can brag. Shay, thank you. You can brag with it to get more clients. That's what that video is for bragging rights. Oh, Jesus. You go. See, let me tell you guys something. The first major training I did for a bank, I was not paid for it. I was interning with my mentor, Nia Desan. In fact, I wasn't even the one that did training. I was what you would call a training coordinator. You know what a coordinator is? A coordinator is like class captain. The guy that is in the class, right, that just welcomes the facilitators to speak and just keeps the energy of the class in between in between the times where the facilitator is there. But I had another assistant facilitator. So anytime I'm just talking to them about the activity and all that, they snap pictures, snap. And the coordinator, by the time the training is done, the coordinator and whichever facilitator was around at that time is the one that would take the picture of the training against the backdrop of First Bank, First Academy, right? So that's why I do the whole thing now. Take that picture. I'm mostly Facebook now. I don't post them for Facebook. This was in 2010, I'll be something. I don't post them for Facebook. Say, First Bank training done and dusted. Who's your father there? That's how somebody saw it and calls me. I've known this guy for a long time, but he didn't think I could do it. So he calls me and he says, I saw that you just finished First Bank training. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm having a training for Unity Bank nationwide. Can you handle the entire Southwest? I said, yes, sir. Guess what? The guy didn't ask me whether I was paid for that first one. And he doesn't even care. But he saw that I have done something like what he wants to do. And he very easily. So that's what you do. You go there. The cost of, because this thing, it would only cost you your sweat and materials, isn't it? Right? The material, how much is the material? Maybe 50K, maybe 100K. I don't know. But your sweat, you can either be there sweating or you can be at home chilling and watching Netflix and being broke. So I'd rather be sweating than be chilling and be broke. I'll just carry myself and go there. So that's what I would do if I were in your shoes. I offer sales on mobile phones and laptop computer, register my company. Now, if you are here, all these things people are asking us. So I said capital is how much can you raise in 90 days? What relationships and all that. But if you are here, all these questions people are asking us. You're asking us because you're not inside our convention community. The convention community, we have questions and Q&As every single week. This thing that we're doing like this, we do it every week. Every week. And all it takes for you is to come to this convention, right? You don't even have to have paid everything. You can pay part. We are bringing all of these speakers. I can't tell you enough about all these guys. These people are legends. But the beautiful thing about the convention is not even just the 2 days. We started a 90-day program that we're already, on. In fact, after this class now, I'm going to drop the video for this coming week that we're already on, and people are transforming their business. They're asking all these questions. We have Q&A that happen every Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. We have people who are billionaire businesses that show up on that thing to talk to us every single week. So, all these questions people are asking, they're questions that have already been answered in that place. We're giving 100,000 naira off so that you can, instead of paying 600, you can pay 500. And in fact, if you find a way, you can pay here, or if you text yes to Bisola now, I can even tell Bisola to knock off an additional 20,000 naira for you, so that you can start your journey towards getting to the convention. So please, if you would like to be a part of this group, figure out how to be able to build your business significantly, I would say you should do this. So how many people are going to do this? How many people? If you want to be a part of the convention, please text yes to Bisola on this number, right? And then when you text it, I want you to write sent. I want you to write sent. Text message, not WhatsApp, please. Text message, not WhatsApp. Send a text message to Naira. Yeah. Right? So text message, sorry. I'm trying to remove this thing. How do I remove this thing from my... Sorry, what's this? Hide keyboard. So, good. So text message, send a text message to Bisola now, and then just come here and write sent. So that tells me you sent the text message if you are in that. A number of us that are here are already coming to the convention, so thank you very much. If you're coming to the convention, if you're already paid for the convention, if you're already paid or paying for the convention, I want you to write paying, or I want you to write paid. There are a number of us. There's a lot of us already in this place, so that people know all the people that are coming. Yeah, everybody answer your name. Okay, Kelechi, thank you for sending that. Okay, good. See, quite a number of people are already paying. Good. So there are people who are already paying, people that have paid parts, people that are fully paid. Yeah, it's 600, but there's a discount offer to 500 or even 480. So Paper World, if you send a message, a text message, by the way, to this number, right, she'll give you all that details tomorrow. Yeah, so thank you so much. So now I'll take a few questions. Oh gosh, I wanted to. So while people are writing paying, paid, or when you send that message, please just type sent to here so that I know that you're one of us that are planning to come. So any one of us got questions, you can unmute yourself. I can take a few questions. Oh, wait.
Hello,
Sorry. Before you unmute yourself, I'm only going to pick those that have their hands raised up. So please, I hope you're one of those that have raised up your hand. So then I'll just be calling people. So if your questions have already been answered, you can just put down your hands so that I don't have to call you. But if your question has not been answered, so let me start with Hajara. Hajara, all the way from Kano. It's nice to always hear your voice. Hajara, are you available?
evening. My
evening.
kids are making noise. Susu. In fact, I don't have a question though, because you have been giving strategies, and in my head I'm like, I don't even know what to do again.
Yeah,
So in my own
tell us
case,
something that you've learned.
okay, right now it's like I've not been doing marketing, or rather I've been myopic with my marketing, right?
Yes, no.
You've expanded my scope of marketing, in that I should include going to businesses
Yeah.
that actually have
Let me tell you something that I did personally, that we did. So the question we asked was, who are the people that need our services and could afford our service? You know, because sometimes when you're in the service business, the biggest problem is that the people who need you are not even aware that they need you. So we realized that, so we went to microfinance banks. So if you go to a microfinance bank, one of the major problems in microfinance banks is that they borrow people money and those people cannot pay back. So we picked specific microfinance banks, you know, in places like Ikoyi and all that. So microfinance banks like Adosa, all this kind of thing. So we went there and we said, look, you guys are giving money out. Are they paying back? They said, no, they're not paying back. Well, let us do a marketing class for them. Invite them to come and learn how to market, how to sell their business. So we started doing a monthly marketing class for them for free. We're not being paid for it. And I also started to do something that is called Expert in Residence. So one day in a month, I would go there, I would sit down there, and people would come and they would ask me questions. They would meet with me for 5 minutes, right? Let me check this room here. I'm sure I can still pinpoint a couple of people that are in this class. I'm talking about something that we did maybe 8, 9, 10 years ago. There are people that are in this class that were from that place. Do you understand? Because when they come like that, you teach them. Once you finish teaching them, they'll be like, this is good though. You have a training, they'll follow you to your training, right? In fact, we have one of the people that came for that expert in training thing ended up joining our coaching program, you know. I mean, worked with that business, they hit $1 billion in revenue. Do you understand? So marketing is not just, because most people think marketing is just, you know, you just press 2 things online and, you know, no, marketing is everything you do to get the ideal clients to know you, like you, trust you. So you have to go to the places where they are, and not just while digital marketing is good, you know, and it's really very good. Sometimes you just have to put the boots on the ground, especially if you have a product that needs a bit of convincing. Do you understand? Did you get what I said?
Oh.
If your product needs a bit of convincing, man, you have to get out there. You can't just be doing online. Even though you are teaching digital marketing, you have to go there, find the people, because the people that need your digital marketing, they are not online. So they won't be able to see you. But thank you so much. Anybody else? You want to say something? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
need
I
to say
noticed
something.
that
Good evening.
Wait 1 minute. Let's
Okay.
allow Hajara finish, please. Yeah, Hajara, please finish. So you noticed that?
All right. So actually, I thought of going to these businesses, and I realized.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
Doing the free digital marketing training. Okay, I now noticed that all the banks we have in Kaduna now are now doing free digital marketing training for entrepreneurs. So it's now like me, I am here in my corner, barely known, and then these banks that have this reputation have.
See, let me tell you, see this free digital marketing that these banks are doing. Are you listening?
The money, have everything, are also doing the exact same thing.
This free digital marketing that these banks are doing.
Yes, I am.
It's people like you that went to the banks and told the banks that they would do it for free, and I've turned those people into funnels.
Okay.
I just explained. I did this thing you're explaining. I did it because I did trainings for banks for free for their entrepreneurs. So the banks will send message to the entrepreneur. I mean, one of them even had a group of 1,600 women entrepreneurs. They'll send a message, free marketing strategy class. Come, they will all come. It's me that they will meet there. After that training, I'm packing all of them to my community. So don't be saying banks are giving them free training as if the bank is the when they get into those classes, the bank logo that will be training them. It's human beings like you.
So can I go ahead now?
Yes, sir, you can.
Yeah, good evening, house.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Ezekiel.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Mr. Ezekiel, thank you once more. I know I've not been able to attend the strategic factory because due to the last convention, so many things that was taught long before the convention and now is just bombarding me. I don't even have time for myself, but I'm just here to encourage others. For those that have not joined, you just have to plan yourself very well. It's not about just meeting up the guest speakers. It's about meeting up those people that you see they don't do any rocket science. It's just improving in training, improving in meeting up people likewise in the kind of your industry that will make you grow a certain level. You know, I have this mindset that everything does not start from Lagos and end in Lagos. I'm in Port Harcourt. Since after that
Yes, sir.
conference, I've crossed 7 digits. I used to have just 2 businesses. Now I have 6. My target was 10 businesses this year. And out of the 6, 4 is giving me a daily income. I'm thinking about how to improve more because the conference last year taught me how to think beyond my box. I attended that conference in less than a week plus. I attended Nia Desoya's 25 years. You were shocked you saw me.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
saw you.
just
Yeah,
come
I saw
because
you.
I want to attend or because I had a personal relationship, but because of the word he released. I went back, I pondered, and I went into several things. So what am I trying to say here is that people have to really key into this. But one other thing you can assist most of us that are coming from far, because I need to talk for on behalf of a lot of people. Some
Yes,
of
sir.
them might not be able to come to Lagos today because outside the flight fare, you talk about the local transport. Most of us coming from the east, the cheapest you see for transportation is 40 grand. So why not think out of the box too in making arrangement with most of your students, most of the people that have attended your conference to set up, even though it's a room that will have to a hotel, a mini reception, mini halls in a hotel where people can go and listen to these things live on that day, and their cost will be reduced in terms of registration of this conference because there's so many
Yes.
people to reach up. It's just that I didn't have enough time to host you in Port Harcourt because of the way back to back I'm traveling from one state to another. It's after that convention I floated my full-time civil engineering firm. And today we are proud we have about 38 workers running in 4 states. Direct workers that we pay monthly salary. When I attended the conference, my salary scale was less than 200,000. Today we are doing approximately about 8 point something to 9 million as a salary, not casual workers. So I would advise you guys should think out of that box because I know last year some people joined there through online visual or online system. So think about that and look at the rate you will give. Somebody
Yes.
pulling out 600, 500 or 400 and not pay accommodation, transport, feeding and everything. He's doing ₦1 million. Maybe the person you want to improve his business today might be just be doing an income of 1 million or 2 million profit at the end of the year. It will be quite difficult for him to take that risk or she. So you guys should think out of the box and do something
Yes,
about it. I'll be attending.
So last, I will know you're attending. You're coming with 10 people. That's good. So last year we did offer virtual, but one of the reasons why we so if you're coming from out of Lagos, send a message to this number and let Bisola know you're coming from out of Lagos, so that we can sort of work things around. So one of the reasons why for us it's also important for people to actually come is because the conference is beyond the learning. It's the experience of it. Like you said, it's the people that you meet. It's the other people in the room that you shake hands with, that you meet. So, I mean, let me give you a perfect example. This Friday that just passed, right? We did Strategy Factory. We had two people came in from Benin. 2 people. They have never met each other in Benin because they run 2 different businesses and businesses that can complement each other. They've never met each other in Benin. They met in Strategy Factory. So if you just imagine the business opportunity, and these people have businesses that are doing 300, 400 million. Just imagine the business opportunity that would happen as they go back. If one of them was online and one of them was there in person, they would never have met. You know, so when you're planning for a conference, you have to imagine that it's beyond. In fact, if a conference is 100%, if what you can get from a conference is 100%, what you can get from the teaching itself is just about 30%. The other 70% is from all the other things, which is why we organize the conference the way we do, so that people can get full opportunities in and out of the conference. But having said that, I want to thank everybody. I think I can still take a few questions. So one more person that wants to ask a question from the people that have raised up their hands.
So thank you very much for this.
Yes, sir. Who's speaking, please? I can't really see.
One more thing I would love you people to also assist us in doing. Last year, you guys did not do it. Try and pair us at maybe one of your free 30 minutes break or 1 hour. Pair people that do likewise kind of business together.
Yeah.
Give that room. You guys promised last year, you did not do it. All what we really saw last year was real estate. If not the way most of us took our time.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. So last year, we both of us have had this conversation already. You know, so this year we do have quite a number. I mean, our community is quite diverse, and the reason why we don't also do a number of those things in that place is that if you notice, you've been in the community from January till date, at least since the last convention. We have quite a number of events, about 3 different events that happen every single month, and we try as much as possible to connect people. On Wednesdays, people are allowed to talk about their business. And then we try as much as possible to connect. I mean, we facilitated tons of transactions within the community, and it's because we try to connect people that do similar kind of business, right? So, but I mean, we can always have that conversation going forward. Please, I'd like somebody that wants to ask the question because we need to run. I've overstayed my welcome. So anybody with a question, if nobody's asking a question, we can call it an evening.
Yes, please.
I'd like you
I want to
to
say something. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sorry,
I
1
have
minute.
something to
Bisola,
say.
you wanted to say something. What do you want to say?
Yes, please. There is a question from Mr. Destiny in the chat box. So he has said that a number of times. So I'd like you to please attend to that.
Where is
before we end.
Mr. Destiny's question?
I
Mr.
just
Destiny,
resent the message now. I just resent it.
Okay. I've tried. Okay. But let's take the question from the person that was talking, and then I'll take that. Okay. So can you talk, sir?
Yes, sir. I just want to address a few things. One, I want to actually re-emphasize the importance of the physical attendance of the conference, because like you said, beyond the conventional classes, networking is one major reasons why people attend conferences. You know, I attended a conference last year. I think it's Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, And I from the conference alone, as an architect, I got a deal of over 10 million naira. The deal was enough to cater for my flight to Lagos, my hotels, and every other thing. So, you know, what you can benefit from the conference itself is more than the conference. And I want to say, even, sir, I must say this to your face. It's not because I'm here, but I think I've even gained much more than I ever expected from all this Thursday Q&A. Because I've attended a lot of conferences where they just attend the class and they throw you away. They will only remember you next year when they have another conference. I've attended quite a number. But here, before we even attended the conference, we are well fed, overfed. In fact, the things I've learned from here that I've applied in my business are numerous. I can't even mention them. It keeps getting better every day. It keeps getting better every day. Every day that I attend, if you notice, I'm always one of the first to come online because of the value. No, I can't just afford to. I was somewhere in a very serious meeting today. The way I was announcing this meeting, they thought they were going to give me money there. But what I've gained is far, far more than the value that's, the cost of, we are still paying, but we have even gotten more than the amount we are paid for. I want to firstly appreciate you so much for this energetic approach. In fact, I've had a lot of testimony about you. I attended a conference, strategic, sustainability, business sustainability in Sheraton yesterday with yes, Olumide Emmanuel, Olusoya. They were quite a number of people. And I was cheering you, as in I was marketing you there. They think you have paid me to market. I said, no, I'm somewhere. And I got to know that there are quite a number of them who are with you. The fish dealer is with you. I don't know if she's there. Yeah. So we met and she spoke high of you, why I need to join the mastermind, and quite a number of guys. I must actually commend your effort. You don't know your value on the street, oh. May they not go kidnap you soon because you are getting too popular for what you are doing. I'm telling you. But you know, when immediately I mentioned Ezekiel, they say, you know Ezekiel, you know, and I was like, wow, I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be associated with you.
Thank you so much.
I'm really proud that I didn't miss this opportunity. It has in this little period, it has actually changed me. I'm coming to that mastermind, whatever it takes. Now negotiate, we'll negotiate. Whichever way we are going to do it, I want to scale up maximally and start doing 1 billion. Let me not take too much of time, but what I want to say, please, when I organize the hotel where we go stay, go tell the expensive, negotiate on our behalf, so that we can.
We're going to send that information this week.
Please. Thank you so much.
So, before we go, somebody said I've tried asking questions twice now, structure, but it was brushed off. Not attended to where I want. I want to structure my business to the level where. So first things first. Destiny. This question is a bit. I mean, when somebody says structure to the point where it can function without me. So first things, it's a long conversation that we have to have, because first things first, that a business can function without you is not really the goal. It's whether the business can grow without you, without your physical input, right? And the first step, if you're going to be, this is it. Structure is people doing jobs that are process driven, and they will do it with the whole of their hearts. So the first is that you need the right kind of people, and you can get the right kind of people if you choose to be an organizer. Remember, when we started this meeting, we said our entire community is built on 2 philosophies. 1, you want to build a billionaire business. 2, which is the reason why you want to do 1, is you want to measure your success by the quality of the lives of the people that work for you. What does that mean? If you measure your success by the quality of their lives, meaning that you pay them well, you treat them right, because the only way somebody would work as hard on your business as you do is if the business can deliver the quality of life that you have to them. Not all at once, so over time. Do you understand? So it's not as if they are all you're going to buy them a car. No, they are going to work for it. They are going to earn it, but they have to see progressive growth while working for you. So that's the first thing. So you have the right people. Good. Second is everything in your organization process driven? Is it documented? You know, if you go to, I read a book about Starbucks. Starbucks has a document on how to mop the floor. Because you can come from your house and you get us the mop floor for there. If you go and mop floor anyhow, and the water does not quickly dry, somebody else walks into the restroom in Starbucks, slips, falls, breaks a leg. Guess what happened? Starbucks is in trouble. In fact, Starbucks did get in trouble. Oh yes, Kelechi, there's part payment, yes. If you send that message, Bisola will get through to you. Starbucks did get in trouble. Some lady came to Starbucks back in the day, buys a cup of coffee, drinks the cup of coffee, and then sues them because the cup of coffee that's supposed to be hot burnt her skin because it poured on her skin and made away with money. So the question now is, Starbucks needed to come up with a document, because how hot is too hot for coffee? So we have to agree on what hot is and how hot is too hot. So if the person that is doing coffee, the heater must not heat it beyond a certain level. I don't know if you are getting me. So the first is, because most entrepreneurs, when they think about structure, they think about how do I use the people that I have to get my purpose. People do not like to be used. That is the truth, right? So people must feel as though they are working for themselves. So you must create your opportunity in such a way that they see that you are very thoughtful about them. So that's one. No matter how well your process is, no matter how well your controls are, if you have people that do not feel, or people that feel as though you're not treating them the way they should they should be treated, it doesn't matter what systems or processes you have, you will not get structure right. And you will have to work at that business for the rest of your life. So it starts with the people, then it gets to the processes, then it gets to the controls.
Oh, the one for Wednesday, don't send the one for Saturday.
So that's how it works, right? So if you're interested, text yes to Bisola on this number, and then we could go. So everybody, have a good night. Anybody wants to say something? Hey, good.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Hello.
I'm not sure that one's talking to us. Okay, so have a great evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. It's always a pleasure sharing with you guys. Please come to the convention. We'll hopefully see you guys. I'd like to see you when you come. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye-bye, everyone.